Mingalaba, everyone. I found a Burmese restaurant. It's pretty far from downtown, and I've found that in Tulsa, if you do want to find Southeast Asian food that is not Vietnamese or Thai, you need to leave the downtown area. So I'm having a dish that I don't get to eat very often, shan noodles. So you can see a lot of ground peanut on top of there. It is a noodle dish, so it's ground peanut, noodle, also sesame seed. And it's served with this side of chicken broth. Shan noodles are named after the Shan state, which is one of the states I did not get to visit during my 2015 trip to Myanmar. So for my taste, they are a little bit spicy if you eat them as is, but if you mix them with the chicken broth, that helps dial back the spice a little bit. If you're looking for something a little more mild, I would try mohinga, which is with vermicelli noodles. It's pretty much the national dish. When I was in Myanmar, I ate it 8 days in a row for breakfast every day. This one's chicken-based shan noodles, but mohinga's fish-based. Bull in the Alley is a speakeasy known for their steaks. So to get here, you have to walk down an alley, look for the green door with the bull above it. Inside this place is very dimly lit, and there are two main items on the menu when it comes to steak. There's a petite filet, and then there's the porterhouse, which they're really known for. It's meant for two, but I'm gonna try and make it for one tonight.
And there's the strip. And we have our filet over here right on top. Beautiful medium right there. Finished off with our clarified butter right there at the top. And all the jus. And there we go, sir. Enjoy.
Thank you. All right, I tried both bites. There's the New York strip side, which is a little bit thicker. It's also a little more buttery. It has molten salt poured on top of it. And something interesting I learned, this is broiled at 1600 degrees. I know pizza is sometimes 800, 900 degrees in a Neapolitan style pizza oven, but I've never heard of a steak being broiled that high. Now, I do prefer the filet mignon side. There's less of it, but you can pull it apart with a fork. You don't even need a knife for that. Also, it just kind of melts in your mouth. Definitely partial towards the filet. Apa kabar, everyone. I found an Indonesian restaurant in Tulsa, so I had to try it. I'm trying a drink that I'm lucky if I try this once a year. Soda Gembira, also known as Happy Soda. So it's got a cocoa pandan syrup. That should be where the pink comes from. And then there's a layer of condensed milk you see on the bottom. You have to mix that in. If you've never had this one, just think like what sparkling water would taste like with some condensed milk and a little pandan syrup. Think vanilla. Pandan's often referred to as Asian vanilla. So I'm not going to have the namesake rendang, but instead I'm going to have soto ayam. Because I haven't had this in such a long time, in fact, right when COVID started to hit 2020 March, I was in Jakarta. A friend had this dish delivered to my hotel room. I really enjoyed it. And this is shredded chicken, chicken broth, and then these are the glass vermicelli noodles. And it also comes with a side of rice, a little potato cake, and this, which is sambal. Usually it's spicy. This soup is definitely kind of like a comfort food. It's a good entry-level dish. If you're not familiar with Indonesian or other Southeast Asian food, this is a good one to start with. Rendang would be like step 2. Mr. Kim's is a dinner-only, very dimly lit Korean barbecue spot. They were a James Beard semi-finalist, and I'm here to try the steak. So I'm starting off with the Wagyu tartare. This is filet mignon topped with chives, and this is milk bread with some bone marrow butter, and I believe there's also some caviar in there. The caviar is on the bottom, adds a little bit of saltiness to it. I've never seen beef served with so many chives. And I love milk bread. If you haven't had milk bread before, you have to try it. Not sure if this is how I'm supposed to do this, but this is rice flour on the bottom. You can see I'm trying to flip it here, and I have. So the dumplings have the little rice flour on the bottom. I'm sure that's going to be nice and crispy. As is typical at Korean restaurants, they're served with metal chopsticks. Look at how crispy the bottom of these dumplings are. The crispy bottom of these dumplings is really what stands out the most. They're served with a little spicy ponzu sauce. I'm using a little bit of it. I don't think they need too much. So for my Korean barbecue, I'm doing 3 things: trumpet mushrooms, brisket, and then I'm doing the go-to marinated galbi, but without the bone in. And everything around here, these are the banchan, and these are usually unlimited, and they are here as well. So the way the brisket's sliced, it only takes, I don't know, 10 or 15 seconds on each side. Galbi comes already marinated, but the brisket does not. Most of the other meats do not, so you got to grill this yourself here. A lot of times the server will grill it for you, but that's not the case here. All right, I'm trying the brisket with just a little bit of salt and sesame oil. The brisket is definitely very thin, also on the chewier side. I would say it would be great in a sandwich. The galbi, the short rib, that's my clear favorite of the two. So it's already marinated, so it has a sweetness to it. You don't even need the sauce. I enjoyed the mushrooms as well. When it comes to flavor, the galbi was my favorite of everything I tried here. But when it comes to presentation, the dumplings are about the coolest thing I think I've seen this year. So I couldn't leave Tulsa without trying at least one pizza spot, and I found one right near my hotel, Andolini's. Andolini, as in Vito from The Godfather, his name before he became Corleone. And there's a Joey Ramone quote right behind me, and the Italian flag in jukeboxes. So check this out. Here is the DeMarco slice. Tribute to Dom DeMarco, as in Dom, who recently passed away from DeFera. And it's house-made mozzarella, San Marzano tomatoes, very generous drizzle of olive oil on the top. Definitely fold that one and eat it with your hands. I like how there was a very generous portion of olive oil on the top. And then I'll say the sauce definitely stood out the most on that one. A little bit sweet, which I like. And also, I'm gonna say that this kind of does remind me of New York without it being overly greasy like a lot of New York slices could be. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe. I got more trips coming up soon. I'm gonna be heading down to Greenville, South Carolina for the first time ever. Also going out to Cleveland, Ohio for the first time in more than a decade. Then I got some trips planned out to the Caribbean. So I'm gonna be going to the US Virgin Islands for the first time. And I'm also gonna be doing my first ever dedicated Puerto Rico trip. I'm gonna be hanging around San Juan. So I hope you get to come to Tulsa, explore some of the music history, check out historic hotels like the Mayo, explore the local food scene, and I look forward to sharing more videos with you soon.